Absolutely. Here's your complete Chapter 6, 1,050 words, written in the strong, minimal, tough love tone of your YouTube audiobook series. Chapter 6. Control the inner dialogue. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The loudest voice in your life isn't out there. It's in here, inside your head. That voice that whispers, "You're not ready." That voice that doubts you when no one's watching. That voice that turns every challenge into fear. It's not the world breaking you. It's your own words. You can't silence the world until you learn to silence yourself. You can't control life until you control the story running inside your head. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The enemy within. Let's be honest, the world isn't your biggest threat. Your emotions aren't either. It's the voice that narrates every moment of your life. The inner critic, the constant commentator, the invisible enemy that hides behind your own language. It says, "You always fail." It says, "You'll never change." It says, "Why even try?" And you listen, you believe it, you obey it. But here's the truth. That voice isn't you. It's your conditioning. It's your fear speaking through familiarity. You have a choice. You can feed that voice, or you can reprogram it. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The language of weakness versus the language of power. Words aren't neutral. They're commands to your brain. When you say, "I can't," your mind stops searching for solutions. When you say, "I will," your mind starts building pathways. That's the key. You're not talking to yourself, you're programming yourself. Every phrase is a code. Every sentence is a signal. So stop speaking in weakness. Start speaking in strength. Replace "why me" with "what now?" Replace "I can't" with "I'll learn." Replace "this is hard" with "this is training." Your brain obeys the language you give it. That's the real discipline. Not your body, not your routine, but your inner script. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. Reframing, the discipline of control. Reframing is how warriors think. It's how leaders stay calm in chaos. It's how disciplined minds turn pressure into performance. When something goes wrong, most people collapse into emotion. They say, "Why is this happening to me?" But the disciplined mind says, "What is this teaching me?" That's reframing. That's emotional intelligence in motion. You can't stop chaos, but you can reframe chaos. You can't stop pain, but you can redefine it. It's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about deciding how you interpret what happens. Same event, different meaning, different outcome. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The science of inner language. Let's get practical. Your brain doesn't respond to reality. It responds to repetition. Whatever you tell it consistently becomes truth. That's how beliefs are formed. Not through facts, but through frequency. You tell yourself, "I'm not enough" 1,000 times, your mind makes it your identity. You tell yourself, "I can handle this" 1,000 times, your mind turns it into muscle memory. So stop feeding your weakness with language. Stop labeling yourself with limitation. Don't say, "I'm anxious." Say, "I'm feeling pressure and I can control it." Don't say, "I'm tired." Say, "I'm recharging for the next round." It's not about lying to yourself. It's about leading yourself. You have a choice. Speak as a victim or speak as a commander. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. How to reprogram the voice. Let's break this down into a discipline, not motivation, discipline. Here's how you do it. Step 1, awareness. Catch the negative script in real time. Listen for phrases like, "I always mess up," or "I'm not good enough." Don't fight the thought, just label it. Say to yourself, That's the old program. Step 2, reframe. Immediately replace it with power. Turn "I can't handle this" into "I can learn to handle this." Turn "This is too much" into "This is my moment to grow." Step 3, reinforce. Repeat it out loud if you can, because repetition rewires the neural pathways. You're literally changing the code of your brain. That's how transformation works, not through emotion, through repetition. You can't just feel better. You have to train better. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The trap of emotion-driven thinking. Emotions lie. They tell you temporary truths. They exaggerate the moment and blind you to the bigger picture. You feel rejected and your mind says you're worthless. You fail once and your mind says you'll never succeed. That's emotional thinking. It reacts, not reasons. You can feel fear and still move forward. You can feel pain and still think clearly. You can feel doubt and still act with discipline. That's the difference between the emotional and the controlled. The emotional obeys the feeling. The controlled obeys the mission. You have a choice. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. Turning discipline into dialogue. Every champion talks to themselves differently. They don't say, "I hope." They say, "I will." They don't say, "Maybe someday." They say, "It's already mine. I just need to earn it." That's the language of discipline. That's the inner dialogue of warriors, creators, leaders. You can't fake it. You have to live it. Every time you choose stronger words, you train a stronger mind. Every time you change the tone inside, you change the outcome outside. You become unshakable from the inside out. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The daily practice. Here's how you build this into your day. Morning reset. Before you check your phone, check your language. Say out loud, "Today, I control my thoughts. I control my energy. I control my reactions." Midday reframe. When stress hits, pause. Ask yourself, is this fact or is this feeling? Then act from fact. Night audit. Before bed, review the day. Catch one moment where your inner voice was weak and rewrite it stronger. You're not just managing mindset, you're leading yourself. You're becoming your own coach. Because here's the truth. No one's coming to fix your inner world. That's your job. That's your discipline. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. The transformation. The day you control your self-talk, you stop being reactive. You stop being emotional. You start being deliberate. No more mental chaos. No more surrendering to the voice of doubt. No more calling weakness your identity. You become the architect of your reality, not the echo of your emotions. Your inner voice becomes your ally, not your enemy. Your thoughts start serving your purpose, not sabotaging it. And the world feels different, not because it changed, but because you did. That's power. That's freedom. That's emotional mastery. Reprogram your thoughts. Reclaim your power. Closing transition. You've learned to rewrite your inner code. You've learned to command your thoughts like a general commands an army. You've learned the difference between emotion and instruction. Now it's time to test that control under real pressure. You've built mental discipline. Now let's see if it holds when the world shakes. Next, Chapter 7. Pressure reveals discipline. Would you like me to continue with Chapter 7, Pressure Reveals Discipline next? 7 to 9 minutes, approximately 1,000 words?